We're joined by the independent counsel who investigated President Bill Clinton, Ken Starr. Mr. Starr, thank you for joining us this morning. I want you to start out by putting yourself in Robert Mueller's shoes right now. You've been there before. After last week's Comey testimony and the president's response, would you be investigating possible obstruction of justice?
Oh, yes, you have to look at everything. In light of what the director said in his testimony, you've got to analyze it. So the short answer is you gather all the facts, you assess all the facts. It looks as if it is going to be, George, a he said versus he said situation. But yeah, you've got to look at everything. That's the job of the special counsel. He said. Do you think James Comey would lie under oath? I'm not going to say anyone is lying. People have different recollections of the very same conversation. The key, though, is what, even if the president said what the director said he said, does that in fact constitute either obstruction of justice or another crime? And I don't think it's even close at this stage. We shall see. There's a requirement of corrupt intent. Moreover, the word hope, even though it was taken by the director as a directive, was not acted upon by the director as if he had been given an order.
Can I stop you there?
I'll also say this, George. Doesn't
the fact that the president kicked everyone else out of the room, the attorney general, the vice president, and his staff, at least suggest corrupt intent?
Not necessarily corrupt intent. It suggests unwisdom. We're using Trump Tower methodology here to carry on business in Washington. That's unwise. I just don't think at this stage we're anywhere near a crime. Nonetheless, we have to investigate it. That's what Mueller, Bob Mueller, who's a great man and a terrific lawyer, honest as the day is long, is going to be doing. I will say this. For the director of the FBI to feel as if he's been given a directive, he should have immediately reported that, at a minimum, to the inspector general. He should have called the White House counsel. He should have said, I believe I am being directed to do something that's utterly inappropriate. He did not take any of the steps that a reasonable director of the FBI, in my judgment, would have taken.
You say that Robert Mueller is honest as the day is long. You have some of the president's defenders out there now calling the whole investigation into question because of Mueller's friendship with James Comey. Newt Gingrich says he thinks it's going to be a witch hunt. Is that a legitimate fear? And do you believe that Mueller is in any way compromised by his relationship with Comey?
No, I don't think that there is a legitimate concern about Bob Mueller. He has decades of very distinguished record of complete integrity. In Washington, D.C., people know one another. It's just the way it is. But Bob Mueller has the integrity and the ability to make judgments, to call him as he sees him. He's going to be a very fair umpire. Plus, we have the check and the balance, George, of the Senate Intelligence Committee, which is very ably chaired by Senator Burr, Senator Warner, the ranking minority member. That committee seems to be doing a superb job as well.
I spoke with one of the president's attorneys yesterday who didn't refuse to rule out the possibility that the president at some point might direct his Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein to fire Bob Mueller. What would that mean?
It would be a very serious action, but it would, again, depend on the facts. What is it that Bob Mueller did that would justify that sort of thing? Firing special prosecutors tends not to work, as we all learned from Watergate. So it would be very wise to allow the special counsel to do his work. You'll see he is the one person in Washington we're not hearing from. He has his head down. He's doing his job. He's assembled, by the way, a fantastic team. That is a great, great team of complete professionals. So let's let him do his job.
Finally, we had this lawsuit this morning from the Attorney Generals of Maryland and Washington, D.C. About those foreign payments to the president's corporation. They say it's a violation of the Emoluments Clause. How serious a threat is this to President Trump?
You got to take any litigation seriously, but allegations are allegations. In my 40 years of practicing law, I've seen a lot of allegations that have blown up in smoke.
Ken Starr, thanks very much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.